Alright, here's the back of the frame. When you're handling this, be careful. These points right here, very sharp, and you can cut yourself, in fact, probably on this part too. Alright, next thing I want to do is fit the Beavertail grip safety, and I think this will require very, very little fitting compared to a typical hand fit Beavertail. The problem I'm having, it won't go, and the problem I think is that these tips here are just a little bit too tight, and this won't go in between those right here. So I'm going to try to knock those corners down just a tiny little bit. As you can see, you got this surface and then a little curve here and a wider surface where the Beavertail sits. So unfortunately I can't just take a stone and lay it on this surface and stone back and forth to knock this down, because the stone wouldn't touch this at all. So I'll probably just hold the stone at an angle and try to keep this surface nice and flat. I don't want to open it up any more than necessary so that I maintain the best possible fit of the Beavertail grip safety. Yeah, still catching. Yeah, if you hold a straight edge along there, you can see actually maybe you can see it from there. If you hold a straight edge here, you can see that's a little bit, comes in a little bit there at the top, at the tip of that thing. This, I would think, would be parallel with this and with the, therefore with the stone here, but comes in a little closer at the top. There you go. You can see I just started to knock that corner off of there, and I was trying to hold it parallel to this surface, so I think I'm going to work on this left side a little bit more. The right side, let's see. Actually, the right side, this does look pretty parallel to this, as opposed to this side, which comes in. So I'm just going to work on this left side a little bit. Yeah, that's definitely out of whack. I don't know how that would have happened. It's almost like something banged into this and bent this tip in. Actually, I think it was a machining problem. Let me try to get a better shot. Okay, that's the right side of the frame. See how the milling mark there dips downward from the bottom and then is straight. The rest of the milling cut straight over to the right, up off the top there. If you were holding the gun, normally that'd be the top, and that's straight. Here's the left side of the gun. You can see some of what I've filed there on the left. It's kind of shiny, but you can see how the milling cut there is shallower on the left. It doesn't go straight all the way to the left. It comes up, and that's where this thing is binding. So that's definitely a defect in the machining. That's really hard to get in there since I don't really have a good angle with this file. I may use the Dremel to relieve that part in there away from the edge, because I can't really get it with a stone. I stand corrected. Look at that. This is the right side. See that texture? Alright, that surface is part of the casting. It's not machined. It's part of the casting. Oh, that's loud. Holy crap. Hey, it's starting to go. That I've got a nice, well, I don't know about nice, but it doesn't bind, so let's see, there we go. There, so now this moves freely. But you can also see, I don't know if you can see or not, but how terrible the fit of that thing is. And I was thinking about filing the speed bump off, because this thing's going to kick like a mule, and I don't really want that digging into my hand. So we will see. Actually, let me do something here. This will be the first time I have felt this. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably take a file and try to smooth out this surface. Maybe take a file and round this over a little bit, smooth that out. You can't see it from this angle probably, but this line of the machine line of the mainspring housing and the edge of the frame casting aren't perfectly parallel. Anyway, alright, well cool. So I got the first couple pieces fitted there. So this is interesting. This is an Ed Brown Beavertail grip safety. Look at that. So on a normal fitting, you'd file this down. Let's give me a pointer here. So this is standing proud of the Beavertail here. And that would be normal. So you would machine that down and this down, or file it down or whatever. And here the frame also there is standing proud of the Beavertail grip safety. And here. But again, that's no problem. I could file those down. But still a huge gap here. Actually, so the problem is that with a hand-fit Beavertail, the whole job, if you consider the frame and Beavertail together, the frame, there'd be more material here on the frame. And you would remove that material. Well, let me stick this in so we have good alignment. Alright, good. Now that's lined up properly. We've got a huge gap right there. Huge gap. Gigantic. And normally these tangs would stick out further. So you would file those down until the Beavertail fits perfectly on there. Well, here the material's not even there. It's gone. So even if I were to use a Beavertail grip safety like this one, like an Ed Brown or some other unit that you'd hand fit, you couldn't ever get a good fit because you got a big gap right there. And you can't really add add titanium on there. I don't know if there's any other way to get material on there. I could take material off here, off these, so I could get a nice fit down here. But there's going to be a gap there, and then you got these two big holes here. So, in my opinion, this is pretty crappy. A pretty crappy thing about this titanium kit. Well, the frame really. It doesn't have to do with the kit, it has to do with the frame. This one fits a little bit better right here, but it's still not great, and still, yeah. Anyway, alright, that's the deal.